Hey, what's going on everyone? Welcome back. Of course, as you can already see in the title, today we'll be having a look at 10 facts that you probably should know about Kenpachi Zaraki. As always, before we hop in, I'd like to thank those who requested this character. Seriously, there were actually a lot of you. Wasn't easy gathering all the comments either, but aside from that, I'd also like to thank those of you who continue to stick around and show support. And with that being said, let's hop in. Number 1. At a young age, living in the streets of Rukungai, Kenpachi came across a dead body of a Shinigami. He then took the sword from this body and imprinted his own soul upon it to make his own Zanpakuto. During this time, Kenpachi eventually became proficient in swordsmanship and killed numerous opponents. Kenpachi soon encountered Yachiru Unohana and fought with her. The fight was the first time he had ever felt fear, and subsequently the first fight he had ever enjoyed, having been bored slashing anything else. He subconsciously sealed his power to allow them to fight longer and consequently lost to her, and after their fight he began to admire her and wanted to fight like her. It was also known that the scar over his eye would ache whenever Unohana spoke. Number 2. Kenpachi possesses considerable knowledge and skill in Kendo, which Commander Yamamoto forced him to learn before officially joining the Gotei 13. Though the training only lasted a day out of fear that Kenpachi would become far too powerful. And while Kenpachi despises using skills and techniques learned from another source, he only relies on Kendo as a last resort. Number 3. Kenpachi has a very poor sense of direction. At times, he would even ask Yachiru for help, even though her sense of direction is just as bad. Number 4. During Kenpachi's free time, he always takes his afternoon nap. He doesn't particularly have a favorite dish. However, he does have a strong distaste for natto, or otherwise known as fermented soybeans. Number 5. Kenpachi's unique hairstyle was partially due to the habit of him taking a bath every day before going to sleep, which is a necessity to him. During these baths, he usually washes his hair with soap, making it stiff. He enjoys doing so because it's easy for him to set his hair to his preferred style. Kenpachi once tried a hair treatment recommended by the 1st Division's lieutenant, but his hair became too silky and was impossible to set for a while. Since then, Kenpachi has greatly disliked the lieutenant. Series creator Tite Kubo also remarked that his hair was one of the most difficult to draw in the series. Number 6. In order to further give the enemy an advantage and an edge, Kenpachi would wear bells on each spike of his hair. These bells can only be heard by enemies whose Ryatsu is concentrated to the point where it can actually defeat Kenpachi. Number 7. The Eyepatch Kenpachi wears was created by the Research and Development Institute just for him. In addition to reducing his depth perception and his range of vision, this eyepatch seals the bulk of his spiritual power. And while this is unneeded, he wears this because he loves fighting so much. He's at least on par with most of his opponents while wearing it, and doesn't remove it as he would defeat them far too quickly. Number 8. Kenpachi is a pretty tall Shinigami, standing at 6 feet 7.5 inches. This also makes him almost double the height of his lieutenant, Yachiru. Kenpachi's birthday is also November 19th, making him a Scorpio. Number 9. Kenpachi's most basic strategy is to have no strategy at all. Even when he stalls during a fight to think of a strategy, he usually gives up and just resorts to doing what he does best, which is simply cutting things with Nozarashi. His sword Shikai power is based on this very same concept. It's designed to cut absolutely anything that's thrown its way. And speaking of his Shikai, this is revealed in chapter 577. Its release command is Drink. When released, Nozarashi takes the form of a great axe cleaver, with a long cloth-wrapped handle and a tassel attached at the top. With this Shikai, it's shown that Kenpachi is able to destroy huge meteorites with a single attack. Its cutting power is also greatly enhanced, allowing Kenpachi to even cut through space itself. Number 10. Kenpachi's Bankai is revealed in chapter 669. His blade becomes an altered version of his Shikai state, with a shorter, more jagged blade resembling a rough cleaver. Kenpachi's skin turns red and he gains multiple black markings across his face and horns on his forehead, causing him to resemble an Oni. When in this state, Kenpachi grants tremendous physical strength and cutting power, allowing him to effortlessly topple over Gerard Valkyrie with a single blow, and rip off his arm in a single motion, as well as cut him completely in half from a far distance. And there you have it, 10 facts about Kenpachi Zaraki. If by any chance you learned or found something to be interesting from this list, feel free to leave a like and share with anyone else who you might feel will enjoy it. And as always, if you'd like to see more characters, by all means post your suggestions down below, and surely you'll get a chance to see them. I'll see you all next time in the Abyss.